Welcome to Athens Twilight. This is a long race. We've got, I think, 80K, 70K, something like that. So it's going to be an hour and a half, close to 2 hour race. I think it ended up being like an hour and 50 minutes, something like that. Starting off really far back here. We've got Gage on the left in the red pants, who's going to be working with me. We're on a similar team of some sorts, but this is one of the nights of Speed Week. This is probably the most popular race of Speed Week, and if you can see the crowds, you can see why. They were pretty deep. There's like a whole party going on around the course, pretty loud the entire time. First time doing Athens, and I thought it was pretty cool. The crowd just gets bigger the whole time too. So Gage and I are gonna be moving up throughout the beginning. You can barely see through that corner that we're really far back. There are 170 starters, and we may be like halfway through the field right now, so there's still 100 dudes, if not more dudes, that we got to get past. So Gage and I are kind of on a similar wavelength, and yeah, this whole first lap, we're doing what we can to move up. The whole first 10 minutes, we were doing what we can to move up. That dude on the inside just nicked his shoulder on that barrier. And continuing to do that. That's going to be the theme of the first part of this race for me. There ended up being smoke right past the start finish there, and I have no idea what's going on at the beginning. But back here, or at the front of the race, but back here, it's getting pretty argy-bargy. That's the first corner. I really found out that the first corner and the second corner, between those two, was my favorite spot to move up for bang for buck. And here I go right now, moving up in that spot. There's an hour and 15 minutes left. Automatic showed up to this race. First race I'm seeing him at this year, and old Thomas Gibbons was super active at the beginning. Kept hearing his name again. I am not close to the front yet. We're 30 minutes into this race, and I've been working up like this the entire time. There were a few times where I would like work up really hard, and then me and Gage both would just crack and just go back 10 slots. So it was like we'd make up 20, and then we'd crack, go back 10, recover, and do it again. Continued racing, and here on the outside, you can see one of the Rainstorm guys and one of the Blazers dudes, I think, got into a little tangle up in that first corner, and yeah, they got collected to the outside, which was pretty nuts. Here's a little slow-mo of it. They just kind of put a foot down. Didn't see many people go down, but here, I think this is maybe Pincus from Outlaws, locked up brakes, reacting to it, and ended up hitting the fence over behind me there. So, continuing with the race, hour and 10 minutes left. It's a long race. It's gonna be a long time, and I am still working up to the front. I might have 50 guys in front of me now. I've been doing this for like 35 minutes. Got Ty Magner on my wheel there, and yeah, just continuing to move my way up. Power and heart rate's gone here because I did hit a massive bump, and it broke my head unit off. I had to take my head unit and put it in my back pocket, so I lost like 30 spots doing that little number, and I didn't have data after that. It just wasn't connecting to my ANT+. So I'm getting closer to the front now. I actually might make an impact on this race at some point. It's taken me so much work. In all these races, I had just done like more power than I usually do in races to get to the front. And sometimes stuff like this would happen where you'd be, in this case I was on Murphy's wheel, and we both got a little folded back. So just lose 10 spots. Luckily it's on the climb, so effectively sag climbing, but we weren't going super hard at that point. So just losing spots, gaining spots wherever we can, trying to work my way up consistently here on Monk's wheel. And yeah, once you start seeing certain teams, once you start seeing Rainstorm, who started at the front, some Blazers guys started at the front, a bunch of Butcher Box guys snuck their way up there. Once you started seeing them, I knew I was in a little bit better position and was getting farther up, but it was really just like dizzying, just focusing on what was in front of me. I've got those rim brakes, so have to really give some space in situations like this right here. I lost space really quickly. That DCC guy would take my space away often, and you realize a few of the guys in this race will do that. I should not have chose the outside line there because it kept getting occupied. But continuing on, learning those lessons, and outside line again. I think that DCC guy ate it a few laps later. Probably overlap wheels, that spot that I had a similar little pinch out, and I was on Tyler Williams' wheel. I couldn't brake as much, so I just kept rolling through because my brakes did not really slow me down. But that ended me up on the work hard, be humble dudes. Ty Magner doing his work, getting out of there, and finally I make my way up to like the front here, hop on Hernandez's wheel, and just ride this train as far forward as I possibly can. And once I got to the front, I knew I was going to have to do something to stay there or to get myself dropped, because there were many points before I even got here. It's an hour in, and I've just gotten to the front. There were many points I didn't even want to race anymore. I almost just like got out of the race. It was hurting, and it would pop out of corners with like plenty of power and would not really be going anywhere, which felt wild because we're going like 30 the whole time. But right now, there's a break up the road, and I kind of want to get to it. They've been up there for a while, maintaining a 15-20 second gap, something like that, but I haven't really got the senses to like look up and see them yet, but I know I gotta go. Hernandez has a teammate in the break with Summerhill, so he sat up, and I just sent it into the start-finish straight. Estevez is on my wheel here. It's Estevez. He's also got a teammate, Robin, up, and we're getting waved to neutralize. Did I see that? I did not see that. I thought it was maybe somebody was getting put back in from the pits, but I kind of collected myself and stopped attacking through there into these bottom few corners. I was pretty gassed too, so not attacking was great for me. Kept the pace rolling through. I'm not seeing anybody like wave us down here. Maybe we should get like corner marshals or something like that at these bigger races, but up in the front here you can see the breakaway has been neutralized right after I attacked, right after I got to the front, and so I'm just gonna not continue to press the pedals hard. Already losing spots, but you can see Michael Garrison here was in the breakaway, riding strong all the speed week, and these other guys in the breakaway up here. There were two Ribble guys, one there and another over there, and then we've got Tom Gibbons, Danny Summerhill, Robin Carpenter, and there's that other Ribble Rebellion guy. So, collection of dudes that were already in that breakaway when we got neutralized. Old Gomez grabbed a gel, lost the gel, had two, ate the gel, chucked this one. No Granting in the face. Chaos is happening during this neutral, and the whole time I'm just losing spots. Like, people are just sending it around me. We've got this Ribble guy, I think he was in the break. Gibbons definitely was in the break, and these guys are kind of pissed off that they got neutralized and folded back into the field. I think the whole plan with the race was that they were going to neutralize and just like have it all together again, which getting in a breakaway was like a hard thing to do, and so they neutralized us here. I thought we were going to stop at the stop line, but people just kept rolling forward. It seems like controlling these fields of dudes this whole week, like for call-ups and everything like that, it's like herding cats. And I don't like pushing my way to the front when we're just stopped, but like I keep losing spots. Like, I attacked into this section, and all of a sudden I'm like 30 wheels back right now, and I had worked for an hour to make up that shit. And so I was upset with that. But here they're talking to them, trying to figure out how they want to open that gap back up. The riders had to neutralize the field, like mainly Carpenter neutralized the field himself. And here they are counting down the breakaway, counted to 10 seconds, and then gave it 14. It was like a 10-second gap that they gave them. And then we started. The dudes just started going. Like, they heard 8 seconds and they just started going. It was chaos. Nobody was really in control, but everybody was in race brain. Should have had like the promoters on it or something. Like, I don't know. It was ridiculous. It ended up working out. The breakaway got reestablished. I think everybody was like equally unhappy about the whole thing. So back into the race. 35 minutes to go, and now I'm on the back foot again, because somehow in a neutral zone I managed to lose myself a lot of positions. You can see them going through the front right. Yeah, I'm like probably 50 wheels back, and just kept getting shuffled back. Got on Gage's wheel, got pinched in between the SCAD guy and Gage. That SCAD dude went real wide, and Gage's hip hit me into his handlebars. It was getting a little nuts. I was pretty gassed at this point, just from moving up to the front and then losing all that hard work. But it's Athens. I'm already in it. I've got to keep going. I kept seeing like laps to go, and it would just make me sad. And then all of a sudden, my front camera died. So we get Brendan Fury, Monk's beautiful face for a second, and we'll zoom back out. It's going to be rear cam for the last 15 minutes of the race, but you get to see us rolling through pretty fast. I'm going to try and make up as many spots as I can, but again, my legs are torched. Coming into the last lap, Gage back there gave me a little pull to get farther forward, but he was riding harder than I was able to move up, and so yeah, just like hit a wall. Tried to finish where I could. I think I ended up like 39th or something like that. With how many times I almost stopped doing that race, I was okay with 39th, I guess. But wish it could have gone a little different. Ralph Ruffo with the yeah, finished up Athens. Up the road, we had Thomas Gibbons with a pretty dominant finish, getting the win, going solo for a lot of it. Second place, Danny Summerhill, beast. And third place, Robin Carpenter from Legion of Los Angeles, dog. That breakaway stayed away, and they raced it out. Thanks for watching. See ya.